Denis Goltsov is 33. Renan Ferreira is 1 year older. Ferreira is 6 feet 8 inches tall. He also weighed in at 261 pounds, near the limit of 265. You can see the height advantage translates to a significant reach advantage on the arms and on the legs for Renan Ferreira. Denis Goltsov is there in the blue trunks. Renan Ferreira in the gray, touch of the gloves. And the largest fight in PFL history is underway. Ferreira banks that calf kick early. Randy, you know it better than anyone. You have to respect every bit of power that these heavyweights possess.
Yep, takes one. You can't get out of position. You can't zig when you're supposed to zag. It literally only takes one shot from these guys.
Ferreira doing a good job of just doing some subtle feints, trying to get Goltsov to jump first.
PFL recently purchased Bellator, promised us champion versus champion card. And that is the Bellator heavyweight champion, Ryan Bader. Ryan, welcome to the show.
What's going on, guys? Happy to be here.
Look, you're not undersized, but against two guys like this, you would give up some size. What do you think?
Yeah, some big boys in there. Yeah, watching this fight here, 6'8". Goltsov's pretty dang big too, so looking forward to this fight, watching this fight, and then let's see champ versus champ and get it going.
Nice twisting body lock by Denis Goltsov from a double underhook position to get Ferreira to the ground. Now Goltsov looking to improve his position.
Trying to pass all the way to the mount here.
And Goltsov really driving that shoulder into the jaw of Ferreira. Now Ferreira in a much better position. He decides to go over the head instead. Now attacking that left arm of Ferreira, looking for that Kimura.
He's got the grip.
Blood from the nose of Goltsov.
Renan Ferreira, left arm in trouble here. Denis Goltsov
trying to crank that shoulder.
Very difficult to finish like that from half guard.
Can't get out and use your hips to crank that arm.
Yes.
His legs are preventing that.
And we asked Conan Silveira, the head coach at American Top Team, who's been working with Renan Ferreira, how you get ready for someone with the versatile skills of Denis Goltsov. What did you do to get Renan Ferreira ready? He said, I put him through hell. And that's exactly what Denis Goltsov is trying to do right now. Ezekiel choke attempt. Thought about it briefly, nothing doing.
Good job by Goltsov to pummel that right underhook right back in to get control. And we've seen Ferreira in the past on the ground. He tends to get a little bit inefficient, starts to tire. So excellent strategy here from Goltsov to get him down early and to keep him busy on his back. Looking for that Ezekiel again.
Ryan Bader, Bellator heavyweight champion, smothering performance so far from Goltsov, and you see he keeps attempting this Ezekiel.
Yeah, you don't see that very often, you know, and he's controlling really well here. He's looking for submissions. You know, and Henna's got to get to the wall, get to the cage, and stand up, get out of position. Right now, it's Goltsov's fight.
Would this also be the Bader game plan against someone like Renan Ferreira?
You know, he's so big, and you know, you can get wild. You know, he's long. You got to get inside, and so trying to game plan would be to get some feints in with some shots and come with punches with those feints, keep you guessing, and yeah, take him down, wear him out, and you know, get a little of that zip off his punches.
Goltsov trying to advance position here, climbing through the middle.
Full mount.
Yeah, Goltsov really dominating on the ground right now, trying to set up that arm triangle. I also like to see him posture up, try to rain down some ground and pound.
Final 10 seconds of this first round, heavyweight world title bout. Denis Goltsov on top of Renan Ferreira. Both men seeking their first belt and their first $1 million check here. Round 2 here, 265-pound world championship. Goltsov in the blue, Renan Ferreira in the gray.
Nice right hand by Ferreira.
Hit over the ear of Denis Goltsov, and there's another.
Oh, and another one. Oh,
he's hurt. He's hurt.
Knocks down Goltsov, and the hammer fist will finish. Problema with the championship.
There's a swing and a miss by Ferreira. Takedown attempt by Goltsov. And Ferreira frames out. There's the big overhand left. And another overhand left. And the third one hits him right in the neck and puts him on the deck. And then the hammer fist onslaught comes until the referee has seen enough. Big right hand right in the neck. Comes down on top in half guard. The hammer fist comes raining down. Mr. Yamasaki has seen enough. The fight is over. New world champion, Renan Ferreira.
Here's your main event tail of the day, brought to you by Bud Light. Renan Ferreira is 33 years of age, Maurice Green 37. You can see the stature of these two individuals. 6'8" is the official measurement for Ferreira, 6'7" for Mo Green. Both men weighed in very near that heavyweight limit of 265 pounds. 85-inch arms for Ferreira and 48-inch legs, giving him the advantage on both the arms and the legs. Ferreira in the blue, Maurice Green in the black and gray. Sean O'Connell, Randy Couture, Kenny Florian cage side, Dan Hardy and Paige Van Zandt also in the building to lend their perspective on this fight. To the center of the smart cage they go. Ferreira opens with a jab, Green responds. Switching stances early is Green. Nice 1-2 there from Renan.
Yeah, Ferreira really establishing that jab, backing up Green. That's not what Green wanted.
Nice long straight punches by Ferreira. He's got Green in trouble.
Unleashing here. Green backing himself up against the smart cage. There's another low kick from Renan Ferreira.
Yeah, that speed advantage for Ferreira is significant here. And Green said he needed to bully the bully, and that's not what's happening right now. Ferreira backing him up.
3 times now Ferreira's gone with a straight punch to the midsection of Maurice Green. Maybe something he saw on tape that he wants to exploit. Now Green back on the offensive. That scooping uppercut there from Ferreira got the attention of Maurice Green. Dan Hardy, fast start for Problema.
Just a really solid start from him. He's controlling range very well as we expected. Everything he's throwing with the intention to land, he's throwing hard. But we're seeing more feints from him now. You've got to see the development from the ATT. Look at this aggression here, but measured aggression. Scary individual, especially with this kind of control.
We saw him in the past, Randy, with a tendency to kind of watch his work. He would throw that jab out, he would throw a right hand out. He'd go one at a time and try to see what happened. He's putting combinations together here in the first round.
Saw him against Mateo Scheffel pick his shots better, not smother his punches, not get too overexcited when he saw blood, when he had him hurt. And we're seeing that same control and precision here tonight.
There's a good long jab from Maurice Green. Denis Goltsov looking on. He will fight the winner of this for a $1 million purse and a gold belt.
Yeah, Ferreira staying aggressive, but not getting too greedy. He's staying balanced with all of his strikes, not throwing himself off of his base. Maurice Green hanging in there, though, but Needs to throw more volume.
Big body kick from Ferreira. There's John Jones in the corner of his friend and training partner, Maurice Green.
Big right hand.
Maurice Green, though, doing a good job of interrupting some of those combinations by at least attempting to clinch.
Maurice Green calls Broad Albin, New York, his hometown, so as one would expect, the chance of the crowd in his favor. Push kick there from Green. Again, the jab to the body from Ferreira. Paige Van Zandt is in the Ferreira corner. Paige, what do you got?
I'm actually listening to the Maurice corner, and currently John Jones is calling for him to be more offensive. They want him to slip and move. They're calling for combos, but they want that offense to be a little bit more heavy on the pressure.
Thank you, Paige. Another combination here from Ferreira.
Green's got to be careful ducking his head when those barrages come. He's going to catch an uppercut.
Yeah, or a knee. Ferreira just has so many tools, so many weapons, and you add all those physical traits that he possesses, and he is a very, very dangerous man.
And a lead kick from Maurice Green trying to target the lead leg of Renan Ferreira. 1 minute left to work in the first round.
Ferreira just seems so loose, so relaxed. And this is what Maurice Green needs to do. He needs to back up Ferreira.
Problema on his way to a championship.
Yeah, just as the seconds were winding down in round one, Ferreira landed a laser. All right, let's check out some replays here. You see the exposure of the center line with Green as he advanced to try to throw a strike, and that just allowed Ferreira to land a laser of a right hand. But at these grounded pound strikes, these right hands that came from the top of the Hulu Theater here at MSG, just nasty. There it is, boom, he saw the exposure of the center line, and that right hand right after, reminiscent of that Dan Henderson bomb against Michael Bisping, but man, what a shot.
Here's your tail of the tape brought to you by the United States Air Force Reserve. Renan Ferreira, 33 years of age. Mateusz Scheffel is 30. Ferreira, as we mentioned, 6 feet 8 inches tall, making him 6 inches taller than Scheffel, who stands 6'2". You see both of these men pushing that heavyweight limit, measuring around 260 pounds. A 10-inch arm reach advantage for Ferreira and a 6-inch advantage on the legs as well. Blake Grice equipped with the Ref Cam, exclusive here to the Professional Fighters League. Renan Ferreira in the blue trunks and Mateusz Scheffel in the gray. Renan Ferreira has recently relocated his camp to American Top Team to round out his game. Both of these fighters looking to clinch a spot with a first round finish early.
Ferreira stalking Scheffel, looking for that big shot. There's that body kick.
Ferreira really good at giving you something to think about with those front kicks. Now Scheffel goes to work on the leg.
Oh, boy.
Beautiful 1-2.
Oh, big right hand. Overhand right for Scheffel.
Drop with the left hook. Problema with the
Wow.
first round finish.
There's that explosive start from Renan Ferreira. My goodness.
There's the long distance weapons. The 1-2. Now Mateus is against the fence. He tries to get into a slugfest with a much bigger man whose accuracy was on point tonight. Stayed out there. Those long-range weapons are very, very tough to deal with. There's that big straight right hand. That set him back to the fence. And then he just pot shot, the hook missed. There's a hook to the side of the dome. Here comes a straight right. And he's down. Did a great job.
Heavyweight affair. Jamel Jones is 2 years older, but Renan Ferreira is 8 inches taller. He also weighed in at 260 to Jones's 237. Randy mentioned the weight lost by Jamel Jones. 10-inch reach advantage on the arms for Renan Ferreira and 5 on the legs. Renan Ferreira in the blue trunks, Jamel Jones in the gray. Problema takes the center of the cage. Jones in the southpaw stance. He told us at the fighter meetings, Randy, he'd been fighting his entire career as an orthodox fighter, even though he's left-handed, because that was his wrestling stance. Oh, he's at a knee! Ferreira pounding away on the side of Jamel Jones' head.
Wow.
He's out!
It all started with that knee, Sean. That rocked him, and those follow-up shots on the ground were absolutely brutal. It's a foul.
Timed that level change perfectly. It looked like Jamel was looking to level change and shoot. He brought that knee up from 6'8", landed right on the button.
Yeah, it was 25 seconds long. And you see Jamel Jones, he's trying to work his way in, trying to find a way to get around those long levers of Ferreira. He said he didn't want to stay in front of him. But Ferreira, very patient. Oh, it's that knee, that follow-up knee that kind of dropped him a little bit. But these shots are just nasty. I mean, how fast is this dude? You do not see guys that are 6'8" with that kind of speed and that kind of athleticism. Look at that.
That's more of a shin.
That was a shin. But, I mean, look, Jamel Jones is reaching to try and grab a single leg there, and it just takes 2-3 of those punches right to the ear to put a very large man all the way out. Yeah, he's stunned there, and then this is all it needs.
My goodness.
Hey, tell you what, impressive explosion there from Keith Peterson to get Renan Ferreira off the attack.
Yeah, he risked his life jumping in there. My goodness.
Look at that. Look at that. Great hand placement, Keith Peterson saving Jamel Jones. Well, if you're talking about big men, let's look at our tail of the tape here. Renan Ferreira and Stuart Austin, both pretty sizable individuals. Reach advantage goes to Renan Ferreira in both the arms and the legs, unsurprisingly. He's 6 pounds heavier and 5 inches taller.
Sir, are you ready? Sir, are you ready? Fight!
Ferreira in the blue trunks, Stuart Austin in the black and gray. Brazil versus UK. 2 orthodox fighters squaring off. Right to the low kick and then the front kick. And those things come up quickly.
Yeah, and from what we've seen here in the PFL, Ferreira loves to get off to a great start. Very explosive, very fast.
We're 20 seconds into this bout, and already Stuart Austin's leg showing damage from those 2 low kicks.
Oh, that was the right hand.
Right! It's a 1-2 good night from Renan Ferreira!
My goodness. I mean, Keith Peterson couldn't have been better with that stoppage. Threw himself right in the middle of him. That was a brutal knockout. Used that long reach, those long limbs, kept him on the outside, and that right hand just dropped him.
Restraint there from Renan Ferreira to not pound it out. He saw the referee coming in and
brutal. And you see his head hit the canvas. I mean, he was completely out.
nice work by the referee. Also nice work by the victorious fighter, realizing it was over and didn't need to throw one more just to prove the point. The jab not quite there. The right hand reaches longer as the hip comes forward. Stuart Austin down and out.
Click below to subscribe and watch more MMA content.